the homestead. Today we're using the heat of the day to our advantage by catching up on some things inside, making a smoked trout dip. But before a massive week of thunderstorms and rainstorms hit our area, we're heading outside to brew a compost tea using our duck water to go ahead and water all of our plants and everything in the orchard. We're using this rain as a free delivery system for our most potent nutrients. By brewing this liquid gold compost tea and side dressing now, we're forcing organic fertilizer deep into the roots of all of our plants and hoping for massive harvests. What's it, new crew? Today is the start of what is going to be a very busy day. Almost 1:30. This morning we went to our version of a homeschool co-op. We are still doing that through the summertime. We're keeping up with it. So that's what we did this morning with gymnastics for the kids and then homeschool co-op. So we've been gone all day today. That being said, today it is like almost 90 degrees. Over the next 10-day forecast, it is supposed to be around 90 degrees every single day. But on top of that, it's also supposed to rain or thunderstorm every single day, which means we got to get the garden and everything taken care of. So we've been doing that either early in the morning before the heat or later in the afternoon after the heat of the day. So I'm taking that into how I'm planning the rest of my day. I want to get some pumpkins planted in the rows in the orchard. I want to get some lettuce planted in the ground. What else did I want to do? My husband's planning to mix up a compost tea tonight. I'll show you guys how he's doing that. We're also planning to, I have to make a smoked trout dip. I'm going to do that today before we go outside. Yesterday we did potatoes and another succession of green beans and got straw over some of the beds. Today we're going to have the kids weed the strawberry bed so that we can get some straw laid out over top of that. And then what else are we doing? We're trying to fertilize and get the compost tea watered onto all of our plants prior to the first thunderstorm, which is supposed to be tomorrow afternoon-ish. So a lot to get done in a short amount of time. My house is very neglected because we've been trying to play catch up after the flu. So what I'm doing, before I left this morning, I got both sets of washers going. So I'm going to switch this laundry, go downstairs, switch my laundry downstairs, and get another load rotated in. I'm not super worried about being on top of everything right now because we're gonna have pretty much 10 days of rain. We do have three different homeschool classes we're doing over those next 10 days though, so we're gonna have to fit that in too. But I'm gonna use that time to get caught up on my house and freezer meals and all that stuff. So for now, we're just doing what we can where we can, and that is the premise of this afternoon, the next couple hours here. And then when I have more time over the next couple of days is when we'll really hit the ground running and try to do a little bit more of some deep cleaning projects that I feel like my house could really benefit from. I'm really curious. I had a kid crawl in with me last night. I don't know what they brought into the bed, but I woke up this morning and my bedding was disgusting. It's gonna take forever for my blanket to dry. Do you guys have 2 sets of comforters for beds? Like just in general, like your kids' beds, your beds. Do you have a full extra change of comforter and sheets, or do you just have extra sheets? Because I'm really starting to think that maybe over the next couple of months, if I find bedding on clearance, I might get second comforters for everybody. That way I can have them when I don't have time to like get my bedding washed, because we were gone all day. I didn't have time to get my blanket, like our comforter, into the dryer, and it's gonna take, it is gonna be a close call on if that is dried and ready to put on the bed for bed tonight. I'm also so behind on putting laundry away down here. I think I have 2 different loads that are washed and need to be put away. But once again, that's not for today. While I'm down here, I'm gonna shop my food storage, my freezers. I didn't have a plan going in today for dinner. The last couple nights I've been winging it, but because it's gonna be so hot, maybe tonight would be a good time to make a pasta salad, possibly, to have prepped in the fridge for the next couple of days to use as sides, but also maybe something that I could throw on the grill. I do have some hot dogs I could pull out of this freezer, so I don't know. I'm just gonna check and see what I have. This is 2 trouts worth of smoked trout that I then deboned, at least the best I could. But you really have to be careful because these teeny tiny pin bones can be really easy to miss. So before I mix in anything, I'm going to take another second here just to see if I can see any that I missed. And there always are. It doesn't matter how slow I peel it off, you're always gonna miss a couple. But we're gonna make this into a smoked trout dip today that we will use as a high protein snack with crackers. It's delicious. Kids are playing in the background, but we're also gonna do about a cup of sour cream. This recipe in particular also calls for a little bit of mayo. You can mix that in. I personally just don't think it needs it. You could also do this with smoked salmon, which we have done with smoked salmon in before. You could throw some bacon in here if you wanted to, but I'm doing some lemon pepper, some Old Bay, a little bit of onion. You could also throw some garlic in here. You could throw a handful of shredded cheese in here. Pretty forgiving, pretty good for whatever you have. I'm gonna give it a taste quick and then figure out if I want to add any lemon juice to it, lime juice to it, anything like that. But let me grab a cracker here. It's exactly what I want it to be. I did adjust seasoning a little, so I'm gonna give it another little taste here. Left in my fridge that we also smoked, I'm gonna leave those there, at least for now. I like to eat them just as snacks. So delicious. They're best right off the smoker when they're still warm, but out of the fridge they're still pretty good too. But this I'm gonna package into a smaller bowl, keep in the fridge. We'll eat off of this. However, honestly, either my husband will take this with him. Today's Thursday. Saturday my husband's going salmon fishing with the same group of guys that he goes salmon fishing with every year, and usually he can catch us a year's worth of salmon in that trip. Sometimes he'll do a second trip. The goal is always when he goes salmon fishing to get about 12 fillets of salmon, so about 6 fish. I'm not sure what the limit is. I would have to ask, but that way we can have one salmon meal once a month for an entire year. And it's really easy to plan that way because I once a month grocery shop. It's easy to think, oh well, I need at least 12 if I want to do it once a month. And typically once a month for salmon is all we really want or need anyway, because we do a lot of other fish. We do a lot of whitefish. My husband's already been walleye fishing this year, which is our preferred fish, honestly, or panfish. We do a lot of panfish, fish fries. Those are probably the two we eat the absolute most, but we do like to mix in salmon for salmon patties, things like that. But also our smoked trout, like we're doing today, we are smoking it and putting it in the freezer. Every once in a while we'll roast some trout, but I seem to be the only one that really enjoys the trout that way, so I don't do it very much anymore, or I'll just, when I'm wanting that, I will roast a trout for myself along with dinner that night, and I'll have it as, you know, kind of like a side for my dinner. But this is ready to be repackaged into something smaller. We'll eat off of this probably today, tomorrow, and then whatever's left my husband will bring with him out on the boat for him and the guys, with probably a box of our crackers here. But this is one of our favorite dips. It is so unbelievably delicious. So let's get that taken care of. After I get this packaged away, I'm also going to get a pot of boiling water on the stove. I want to make sure I get all of this here. That way I can get that pasta salad whipped up and hopefully get the house cooled back off a little bit before my husband gets home. I figured I'm already gonna have the stove on. I also really need to make another batch of coffee creamer. So I'm gonna get that up on the stove too while I'm kind of in here anyway. And then while both of these are kind of cooking and doing their thing, I'm gonna unload the dishwasher and just kind of get it reset. I try to get things as pulled together as possible, especially if I know we're gonna be out in the garden and be doing things later into the evening. It's the only way that makes sense with small babies and still needing to like pause for bedtime and all of that stuff. So my coffee creamer is really, really simple, but just a little bit of vanilla. I'm gonna do heavy cream here. You could definitely switch this to like a dairy-free version with whatever you currently use, and I think it would be just the same. I like mine to be caramel, so I make, oh my gosh, if I can get this open here. There we go. I make homemade caramel. I have some shorts on this on my channel, but this is a salted caramel. I'm gonna put maybe a tablespoon and a half, maybe closer to 2 tablespoons into my pot here. For mine to be sweetened with just a little bit of brown sugar, not a ton, because that caramel really does sweeten it a lot, but I still like just a little. I like that. And even doing this, the sugar content in this is going to be way less, even adding in that brown sugar and my homemade caramel here, than any caramel would be, or any, yeah, I guess any coffee creamer from the store would be. And then you're just going to turn it on probably a medium heat, occasionally stir it, and you're just waiting for, I'm personally waiting for that caramel to melt and get incorporated, and for that brown sugar to dissolve in here. And I know that I'm doing it right if my base tastes like vanilla ice cream. That's perfect. That's where I want mine. So I'm gonna let this go. I got my pot up for my pasta here, and then I decided to pull out some hot dogs, and I have some jalapeno cheddar brats in the fridge as well that I'm gonna pair with those. I also have some Caesar salad kits in my fridge with some bacon that was left over from dinner last night, so we can do bacon Caesar salad kits tonight with this, plus the pasta salad that I'm gonna prep, and those hot dogs and brats, and that'll be really good for dinner tonight. We also have lots of fruit we can pull out right now the kids can do for a side. So we should be in a pretty good place as long as I can get these done, rotate my dishwasher, and wipe my counters off. And I would love to vacuum mop my floors while my baby naps and while my big kids are kind of having some quiet time. It was a very busy morning this morning, and then I will feel like completely reset and ready to take on every garden project that we have this afternoon, and things should be pretty good at that point. Maybe I will hand off vacuum mopping the floors and unloading the dishwasher to 2 of my children, and I will actually run out to the orchard and put my seeds in the ground while the baby's napping. That might be a better use of my time actually, but I got stuff on the stove too. I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see what happens.
It is super important for us that everything that is on the homestead has a purpose on the homestead. Otherwise, you're just wasting time and resources and money. The ducks were a specific investment for us that we put on last year. They do a couple things for us. One, most obviously, is eggs, the occasional meat, but we got them mostly for bug control in the orchard and for this duck water, which is basically just fertilized water, essentially. It's nasty, it's grimy, but your plants love it. Today we're using that water as a base for our compost tea. We got this compost bag. My husband got all this stuff from either Menards or Tractor Supply. We put in 2 bags of worm casting, about half a bag of an organic compost, and then in our water we're dumping in a whole package of Neptune's Harvest and fish emulsion. Stinks a lot, you guys, prepare yourself, but we also got an aerator to keep that water moving, to keep it bubbling. And we let this steep for about 5 hours, and I didn't film it, but we did go ahead and go back outside and water everything with it. The reason I didn't film it is because we got out there at like 10 o'clock at night. We did it by headlamp. There was really nothing to see, but in a future video I can walk you guys through that process. We also went ahead and put in a slow release fertilizer underneath the drip line of all of our trees. This is what that fertilizer was. Once again, either Menards or Tractor Supply. We got enough for every one of our fruit trees and our nut trees. While my husband and the kids were putting those in underneath the drip lines, I went ahead and added some seeds to the orchard. Earlier this year, we had a failure in a lot of our pumpkin seeds. Actually, all of our pumpkin seeds, they all died. So I'm just direct sowing them instead. We also direct sowed some watermelon in our rows because we didn't have any of those survive the seedling stage either. I also went ahead to check on some of the places where I had already put seeds to see how they were doing, and we do have some zucchini popping up that I direct sowed a couple of weeks ago. A lot of small projects have been happening on the homestead that I haven't shown you guys. My husband and I have been working on trellising our blackberries slowly but surely. We've been taking one section at a time, and we were able to get 2 sections done this week, with our 3rd and most labor-intensive section still to go. Everything's looking really good. However, we did notice some vine borer type things in our raspberries. We had this last year, so that's something we're definitely going to have to take care of so that it doesn't wipe out our entire raspberry patch. I also wanted to show you guys an update on the raspberries that we planted a couple of weeks ago. These are our double golds, which happen to be my husband and some of my kids' favorite. I also took a couple minutes to clean up all of the garbage from planting the garden in the ground. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in another one for hopefully a full garden tour.